run for my money. There is nobody, no one that run me. So give me a run for my money. Sipping bubbly, feeling lovely. Living lovely. Just lovely. I wanna be with you. 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 Me just love me. If I didn't ride blade on curve, would you still? If I'm in my mind at work, would you still? Keep it 100, I'd rather you trust me than to.
What's up, beautiful people? How are you guys doing? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day out there. Remember, don't do too much humping. Take it easy. I thank you guys for joining me on today for this episode of the Mykell Mathieu Show, where I am here to bring you everything when it comes to the sports world, entertainment, culture, and everything in between. And remember, you're with me on my journey to secure my spot in Hollywood, getting my Hollywood star there on the Walk of Fame, because it's going to happen. So make sure that you stay locked in and tapped in with your boy. But we are a day before Game 6 of the NBA Finals, where the Thunder will have a chance to knock off the Pacers and win their first NBA championship. But for you guys who watch other sports, you know that a champion was named not too long ago there in the NHL. That's right. Back-to-back champions, the Florida Panthers. They are doing something that, you'll hope to see from the NBA soon. Seeing a team dominate and to win back-to-back championships is very, very tough. The Panthers were able to win their back-to-back championship the 8th time that you've seen it with the NHL. And, they did their thing. They got the win. Shout out to them for becoming champions once again. But let's talk about this hoop, baby, because with the series being 3-2 Thunder, I picked the Thunder winning it 6. I'm going to keep that pick. I believe that with Tyrese Halliburton dealing with the calf injury, banged up, Game 4 was truly a dagger for them. They had a chance to go up 3-1, and they just didn't make it happen. And the Thunder got their rhythm, found their groove. Jalen Williams has stepped up and played some inspiring basketball, scoring a 40-piece in the last game, doing some really great things. Alex Caruso continues to shine bright. Pascal Siakam did some good things for Indiana. Nesmith put in double figures. Miles Turner, who has to try to help them on the boards. But without a fully healthy Tyrese Halliburton, and I mean a fully healthy and aggressive Tyrese Halliburton, he don't need to be trying to just collect assists and things like that. They need him to score 20 plus, being a 20-10 type of point guard. I said it earlier in the series. That's the only way that they were going to win, if he was exactly that. And getting you 4 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds while being hurt, I understand that, but it's not enough. Everybody is dealing with something at the end of the season, especially when you make it to the finals. But I just believe that the Thunder are just healthier. They have Shea. Jalen Williams is truly in a bag. Alex Caruso is there playing his heart out. Aaron Wiggins, Cason Wallace, they just have a bunch of guys that can help them win and help them pick up victories. And as much as it is about having a great player, which the Thunder has the best player in the league right now with Shea, I believe that also having a good team around that player always helps you win. You study the history of the game. That's how it works, and that's why the Thunder will win in 6 games and secure their first championship. The only question for me now is who's going to be Finals MVP, because these last 3 games, Jalen Williams has been playing amazing basketball, and say if he puts up another 40-point game to help them win this Finals, you're going to actually have to think about how does it go. We remember last year, Jaylen Brown surprised everybody winning the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, then winning the Finals MVP. So they just don't give it to the star player. You know what I'm saying? They give it to who they feel deserve the voters that are there supporting the media. And they could look Jalen Williams' way, but I do believe that it should be Shea. I think that he finds a way to put them over the top. I've been believing in them since they made it to the finals. Before the finals, I was talking crazy. I was like, hey, I don't believe it until I see it. And they have proven me wrong. They're making it happen. A win away from being champions, and I think they make it happen. Remember, for all you guys tapping in, Facebook, LinkedIn, um, on the YouTube with the Misfits Live page, on my X account, Instagram, TikTok. You can always comment, tap in, let me know what you think. Do you guys got this going 7? Because I wish it would go 7. More basketball is always better than no basketball. And game 7 is one of the greatest phrases that you will hear in sports. But I do believe that the Thunder are truly the better team and that they're ready to secure their championship and to shut up all of the naysayers, including myself, and show that we should believe in them going forward. So we're going to see what's going to happen. I really like what they're doing, and they're playing some really great basketball. But that's not all that's going on when it comes to the talk of hoop. We got to talk about LeBron James once again. And I know everybody's like, why we keep talking about LeBron? He's not even playing. He's LeBron James, damn it. His name is reign supreme in NBA in a lot of sports circles. And he's a guy that people are going to always talk about. And especially when he's on his show, Mind Your Game, talking crazy. And we know about this because it goes back and forth. Like I said, I'm here to bring you to what people are talking about on X and more. On X, people have been talking about ring culture for a while, especially LeBron James fans. Excuse me, because they know and they understand when it comes to the ring counts, how people won. You can't give LeBron a title of greatest because he only has 4. He lost 6 times in the finals. MJ reigns supreme with 6, especially in the modern era of basketball. I know Bill Russell has 11, but that was so long ago. There was no three-point line. There was not enough teams. The game was just so different. 79 to now is how I look at the NBA. And MJ reigns supreme with 6, him and Kareem. That's why they are in that GOAT conversation, because winning matters, especially in the game of basketball. So for you LeBron fans, for you hoop fans, period, sports fans, football as well, when it comes to the quarterback position, the greatest players always finds a way to win. That's why I don't want to hear that, oh man, championships is a team thing. Is this, yes, you got to have a great team. We've seen a lot of great players at their prime, not win. But usually when you give them a solid enough team around them with possibly one other all-star guy, like you're seeing with Jalen Williams and SGA, you usually go and you win, and you don't just win one championship. You find ways to stack up championships. If you look at the history of, I'm going to use basketball and football because it's easy to use that. With basketball, the guy, if you look at 79 on, Magic and Bird and Kareem won the most titles in that era. They were the best players in that era. Luckily, 2 of them played together, so it helped them. But when you look at that era, it's Magic, it's Bird, it's Kareem, because not only were they great statistically, awards-wise, but they also won. Slide over to the 90s. You started off with Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons because they won the 2 championships. But we know that era belonged to Jordan. He ended up winning 6 of the championships. He was the guy everybody needed to get past. He is the it when it comes to the 90s era, because winning 6 championships is crazy. Especially, think about how hard winning a championship is. We're looking at bodies breaking down, Tyrese Halliburton dealing with an injury. To last so long and to be the champion at the end and to do it 3, 4, 5, 6 times, you have to get a bunch of praise when it comes to your peers. You have to be far and above them because it's so hard to do. And, and that's why you have to give those guys praises. So that's why Jordan winning 6 championships in the 90s is tough. Kobe winning 5 and Shaq winning 4 and Duncan winning 5 in that era is tough to do. And those are the 3 best players in that era. You look at the 2010s, Steph, KD, LeBron James, because they were able to win the most championships. And this isn't to discredit any of the star players of any of those eras, because it was guys who were amazing, amazing talents that just didn't win. But most of the time they didn't win because they couldn't get through the guys who were above them. Think about the 90s, right? You think about why Charles Barkley doesn't have a championship, or Karl Malone and John Stockton. They couldn't get through the guy. You think about the 2000s. AI made it to the finals. Great, great player. One of the 50 greatest, top 25, top 30 guys. But he couldn't get through Shaq and Kobe. It just happens. The best players find a way to win. Hell, we could take it to football, like I mentioned earlier. Quarterbacks. Dan Marino was amazing, one of the most skilled and talented quarterbacks of all time. But he didn't win a Super Bowl. Sometimes great quarterbacks find a way to make those great plays to put their teams over the top. Look at recently with Patrick Mahomes, what he has been able to do. Why Tom Brady is the GOAT at this present moment, because when the biggest moments happened, he was at his best, and you have to be a special player to do that. That's why you give kudos to Montana, to Brady. You give kudos because Rodgers was finally able to get one in 2010. Once Favre was able to get one, John Elway, because they will tell you, man, it's hard as hell to win championships. It's very tough to do in the NFL. In the NBA, it's the same thing. Like, if it was so easy, guys will be winning 7, 8, 9, 10 championships left and right because they are just individually that great. LeBron James, he will have like 7 or 8 titles if it was so easy, but it's not. You have to have a lot of things go your way. And for you to win those 3, 4, 5, 6 championships, it shows you how special you are to make those things go your way so consistently. So I don't want to hear none of this ring culture talk that it don't matter. It clearly matters, because if you ask Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Reggie Miller, these guys, hey, if you could take away 2 or 3 all-star appearances and add a championship to your legacy, would you take it? I guarantee that they will say they will want a championship, because it's so tough to make it happen. And I know LeBron James, he wants to protect his legacy. He wants people to be talking about him as the GOAT 10, 15, 20 years from now. But if they're going to look at it really, fans out there, you have to think about a guy winning a championship being a greatness mark. It's not to downplay these other great players who didn't win. Like, you continue to give them praise, you give them love, but winning championship enhances you. So if a guy is even keel, if a Kobe and Iverson is even keel, you have to look at the championships, right? A guy that has 2 rings compared to a guy that has 4 to 5, that is a big difference. And LeBron James, I don't want to hear about you trying to do what you're doing, because you clearly went to Miami because you wanted to win championships. That's the only reason why you make that move. If it wasn't about that, you play your entire career in Cleveland, like Kobe did with the Lakers, like Tim Duncan did with the Spurs, and then you just figure it out from there. But it wasn't about that. You understood how important winning was, so you said, hey, I need to find an easy way to do this because it is so damn hard. So you went to Miami, played with Wade and Bosh. You got 2. Even when things look bad there, you said, damn it, I want to add more. I need to catch Kobe and Jordan and guys like this. So you go back to Cleveland where things are set up for you to win, and you add another one. That falls apart after that. So it's like, hey, I need to go somewhere else. Look at this Laker team. They got some young pieces. Maybe they can go get Anthony Davis for me. We can win another one. It's why LeBron has made these moves. It's why championships matter, because they're hard to get. And when you can get multiple of them, it truly shows how great you are and how you elevate your team and players around you. So I don't want to hear none of that culture, championship culture talk like rings don't matter. They matter. If you want to be known as an all-time great, go out there and collect them chips. That is a part of your journey. So that's what it is. And speaking of a championship, 15 years ago today, the Los Angeles Lakers, led by this guy, y'all see him, Kobe Bean, won his 5th championship, knocking off the Boston Celtics in 7 games, cementing his legacy, I feel, as the greatest Laker of all time, placing him in a for sure top 5 spot, top 3 spot in the NBA all time, or top 7 will be the lowest I will go when it comes to greatest players, because Kobe was able to achieve everything, and he was able to join a club, to me, that's so special, winning 5 championships. When you think about the stars of stars, and I ain't talking about role players, the stars of stars to elevate their teams to win 5 championships is not a lot of them. You got Kareem, you got Magic, you got Kobe, you got Jordan, you got Bill Russell, you got Tim Duncan. That's pretty much it. 6 guys that people look at as top 10, top 7, top 5 players in the league that has that feat as being the best or second best player, or 1A, 1B situation on their team, is those guys. And Kobe was able to add himself to that list before Tim Duncan, I shall add. And Kobe was still the clear-cut best player on his team when he got it, compared to when Duncan got his 5th one. It was an argument of, is this TP's team or is it this young Kawhi Leonard kid? But Kobe won his 5th championship, knocking off the Celtics 15 years ago. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a series, as a Laker fan, as a huge Kobe guy, like, he cannot lose to Boston twice. It will be terrible for his resume. And once they went down 3-2, I was like, it's going 7. They won't lose game 6 in LA. They showed up. They blew them out. They took care of business. Game 7, it shows you how tough that season was. It shows you how tough that series was, because those guys were tired. Not too many of the players played in that game shot well. It was just a defensive battle, gutting out a championship win. Kobe did his part. He scored 20 plus points, went and grabbed 15 rebounds. And if you were alive or old enough to watch that series and understand what was going on, rebounding was so big in that series. It's like whoever won the rebounding battle each game won the game. Kobe helped his team do it. Meta World Peace, Ron Artest knocked down a big shot. He said, Kobe, pass me the ball. And he did, and you knocked it down. Sasha Vujacic knocked down some big free throws. It was just a moment of bliss. It was a moment of greatness for that Lakers team. I hate that they didn't win 3 straight, but they were able to win 2 straight championships. One of the most slept on teams, I feel, in the history of it, when you look at that two-peat with the Lakers. But it was just a story of the Lakers continuing their greatness and dominance, and Kobe Bryant adding number 5, showing you that rings do matter. Even back then, it was crazy that LeBron was arguing this 5-1 thing. Championships matter. That's what makes you great. That's why we talk about these players. If SGA can pull off 3 straight with Oklahoma City, there's no way you could say Jokic is better, because championships are even more than MVPs, and that's just how it is. But, man, 15 years, show you how much time is flying. Shout out to the guys of that team: Andrew Bynum, Paul Gasol, Lamar Odom, Shannon Brown, Jordan Formar, Sasha, who was on that team, Luke Walton. It was just a really solid team that fit really well, and it was coached by the greatest coach of all time, Phil Jackson. It made him win his 11th ring, showing his dominance and showing why he is that guy when it comes to coaching. So shout out to that Lakers team 15 years ago, knocking off the Celtics. Kudos to them. To keep it on the hardwood, guys, I got to keep it there. What's going on with the ladies? They are going crazy on the court, but this time it's no Angel Reese involved. So for all you Angel Reese haters, what are you saying now? Caitlin Clark is in the mess again. Yesterday, Connecticut Fever, they got active on the court. Some good basketball and some good physical basketball. Marina Mabry out there going crazy. Sophie Cunningham doing her thing, man. It was just a physical game. And a rough, tough, bumbling, fumbling, all of that stuff is needed for sports. We're talking about it today, the day after. It's nothing wrong with a little feistiness in sports. The W needs to keep it going. It is great, especially when it involves your biggest name in Caitlin Clark. So Shout out to the Fever. They're going to be playing in the Commissioner's Cup Championship versus the Lynx. And, it was fun to watch and to have the headlines where people talking about it, whether it's a little, squabble or whatever you want to call it. It's good for the game. Hey, publicity is publicity, and they got it. I love that for them. So shout out to the W, shout out to the Fever and the Sun. Keep getting it active, baby. For the Sparks, they were blown out and smacked up. I was in the building for that. For all my folks, TikTok land, IG, X, who see a lot of my WNBA work that I do with the Sparks. It was tough last night. Like they were smacked up and beaten from the jump, dealing with so many injuries. They had a starting five on the bench. Like you had no Kelsey Plum, no Odyssey Sims. Ray Burrell is still out. Julie Ottoman is overseas with some things that she has to do. We're still waiting for Cameron Brink. It was tough for them, but for the Sparks fans and people that's following the team, don't go too crazy. No one expected them to win a championship. They just want to try to sneak into that 8 seed, and they still have an opportunity as long as they can beat up on the bottom feeders alongside themselves in the WNBA. Make sure they take care of the Chicago Sky. Making sure that they're beating on the Valkyries, who got them 2-1, but they see them again very soon. Making sure that they're smacking up the Connecticut Sun, making sure that they can beat the Washington Mystics, and every once in a while still in a win like they did over the Las Vegas Aces. Like the Sparks are okay. I know in LA we want to see you win, and we want to see you win right away, but sometimes it takes time. Sometimes you have to build. And for the Sparks, that's exactly what they're doing. We want them in the playoffs, of course. You got Kelsey Plum, Dearica Hamby, Azare Stevens, but you just want to see them continue to grow, be more competitive, and be there at the end to have a chance. And you want to see Rakia Jackson continue to hoop and do what she does. You want Cameron Brink to come back and be a positive player. You want Ray Burrell to come back and be a productive player. So for you Sparks fans, I know we like to put pressure on them because it's LA, but give the ladies some times. I know watching losses is tough, but hopefully they can figure some things out. Once they get healthier, Coach Lynn Roberts can get the exact squad that she's hoping to see. But I'm excited, man. The WNBA is going up. It is some good basketball. I am a fan of the game. If you're a hoop fan, a real hoop fan out there, and you say that you love hoop, make sure that you tapping into the W because it is some good basketball going on there, man. So shout out to the Sparks. They gonna figure it out. NFL, it's been some moves being made, or just one move I would say that really means something. Jair Alexander, who was recently released from the Packers, the DB, is signing with the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson had his press conference and said, Eric, go get him. Talking to the GM, he went and got him. Now they're going to have a stacked DB room. They're going to be tough, man. They're going to be tough. Whenever you have Lamar Jackson, whenever you have Derrick Henry, and the defensive pieces that they're able to put together out there, they are going to be tough. And for Jair, it's all about being healthy. You want to see Jair be healthy, play some good football, and be out there to make some plays because they got some dogs in the secondary. Nate Wiggins, Jair, Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton, Malachi Starks, the rookie out of Alabama. Like they're going to do some things. But for the Ravens, you can get excited. You can be turned up. But for them, it always comes down to which Lamar Jackson is going to show up in the playoffs. Our defense can be great. Derrick Henry can run the ball, but eventually our QB is going to have to make some plays to beat Josh Allen, to beat Patrick Mahomes, to beat Joe Burrow, to beat CJ Stroud, to beat whomever they have to face in the tough AFC. Will Lamar Jackson stand up and stand out to help his defense by scoring some points and making big plays, keeping these quarterbacks off the field, and just being as great as he does in the regular season? So shout out to Jair Alexander joining the Ravens. He's going to have a chance to compete for a Super Bowl, but it's all about Lamar Jackson showing up in the postseason, and he just hasn't done it yet. I talked about the ring coaches earlier. I can't say a Lamar Jackson is better than a Patrick Mahomes. I can't say a Josh Allen is better because you ain't going to get them chips. You ain't step up when your team needs you the most, and that's the postseason. Regular season, great. Go and win your games, get your stats, get your awards. You need that, but you got to win in the postseason. And as great as your defense can be, it's going to be about Lamar Jackson. You can get lucky and get an extremely hot defense like Tampa Bay did for Tom Brady to help him win another one, like the Eagles did last year for Jalen Hurts. But at the end of the day, most of the time, your QB has to step up and make plays for you to win a Super Bowl, and Lamar hasn't done enough. So kudos to them with the Jair Alexander move, but it's not going to be enough if Lamar isn't that guy in the postseason. So that's it when it comes to sports. I can talk sports all day. But I gotta move on. I want to talk about, of course, I want to talk about the Dodgers and their rivalry with the Padres. They're gonna hit Ohtani with a pitch, but I'm gonna save that for Friday. So if you want to hear some Dodger talk, tune in Friday. I got you covered for that. But we're gonna step away from it. Of course, here at the Mykell Mathieu Show, I don't just bring you sports. I talk about all of the hot topics that are going on. And yesterday, Kendrick Lamar celebrated his birthday. I talked about Tupac on Monday, but it was about Kendrick Lamar. His birthday passed yesterday. I just got to give a huge shout out to him because, of course, I'm a huge fan. I've been tapped in for a long time, but just to see his development and growth from the Training Day mixtape, C4, all the work with J-Rock, Ab-Soul, and those guys, to the Kendrick Lamar EP, OD, Section 80, then Good Kid, Mad City, all the way up to now the GNX era. You just see a guy become a superstar right before you. It's kind of like watching sports, seeing a young Kobe emerge and become one of the 5 to 10 greatest NBA players of all time. Seeing Patrick Mahomes blossom into possibly the greatest quarterback of all time. Like, kudos to K-Dot. Keep killing it. I can't wait to see what's next. He's still touring. He's going to be touring all the way up to December, which is crazy, but he deserves all the praise and kudos. It's that era, like Elliot Wilson likes to always tweet, and it's real. Kudos to him to see that growth, man. It's been amazing. He's 38 years old. Can't wait to see more content, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. But I got to give a shout out because hip hop is a competitive sport, and Pusha T understands. The Clips are having an amazing rollout. Dropped 2 fire records, the latest one being So Be It. Well, Pusha T called out Travis Scott. Like, first of all, people, so crazy how social media works today. When things drop instantly, people are trying to dissect what this means or that means. And people thought the bars, because it mentioned Calabasas, was about Kanye, but the more you listen to it and the more word got around, it was about Travis Scott. And Pusha T did his interview about Travis Scott. And So Be It is fire. Like, if you haven't heard that record, go tap in. It is a hot record. People have already listened to their album and said it's great. Kendrick has another nuke that he's going to drop. So I'm excited for that. But they're doing a great rollout. And hey, they got people talking. Like, beef is beef. Beef is good for the game of hip hop. And Pusha T is on Travis Scott's head. And I can understand kind of both sides of it, right? Pusha T is like, yo, you came and played us the album. Then the album dropped on Meltdown. You got Drake talking greasy about my boss, my guy, my friend. I got to get at you. Like, that was a sneak move. Why didn't you tell us? At least tell them about it. Like, hey, I added Drake to the record, P. I didn't know he was going to go ham on you, but just to give you a heads up. So it's kind of a weird move. So I can see why Pusha T took it that way. But then, Trav could be like, man, like, my team was like, it's a Drake feature. He just sent it to us last minute. We threw it out there. I didn't even know until people started reaching out to me. So I can see where if you stand on either side of it, but Pusha T is like, this is hip hop. I'm going to speak my piece. I'm going to give you what I feel about it. And he's giving you what he feels about it. And he got some shots for Travis Scott. So the question is, can Travis Scott do anything to fight back? Like, he's not a lyrical rapper. He's not in that lane at all. I always say he's a hip hop rock star. So can he dare compete with a guy like Pusha T who smacked up Drake in their battle? Like, it's going to be interesting to see. But man, oh man, that Pusha T continues to be amazing. Continue to show why he's one of the greatest rappers of today. And the Clips, man, like, Don't just think Malice is doing his part too. Malice is spitting bars. He talks about the Neptunes breakup. He said P is Saturn with the breakup. So they're giving you some heat, man. And I'm just excited to hear what they have to do. I know Bun B came out and said, oh man, Trav is ready for the smoke too. You know, he got to rep his Houston guy, but I just don't know if Trav want to jump into that ring with Push, because Push is that guy, man. So it's a lot of stuff going on, crazy, wild. That Iran and Iraq stuff is very crazy, but you know, we're just gonna see what's gonna happen. But we got some breaking news. The Bus family is entering an agreement to sell majority ownership of the Los Angeles Lakers to Mark Walter, the CEO and chairman of a diversified holding company, TWG. Jeannie Buss will continue to serve in her role as governor after the sale. Wow, 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 wow. Who would have known? The Buss family are like, we can't take it anymore. We need to sell majority of this. Shams dropped it. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But they are selling majority of the team to Mark Walter, the CEO and chairman of TWG Global. Wow, I'm going to have to dive in deeper on this. I got to learn more about who this guy is. I have to see what is going on in Laker land. You kind of heard some words about it, but you didn't think it was going to happen. So I need to reach out to my journalist friends and be like, hey, what is going on with the Los Angeles Lakers? My Los Angeles Lakers, man. But I got to get to that. I'll be back Friday. I'm going to have more on it, more to talk about when it comes to it, and more to talk about when it comes to more breaking news in sports, in the culture, entertainment, and so much more. Y'all be safe out there. Enjoy your Wednesday. And like I said, it's hump day. Don't do too much humping out there. You know, be safe. Have a good time. But wow, the Lakers, the Buss family is selling. That is crazy. But I'll see you guys next. I'll see you guys Friday, baby. It's going to be lit. Another great show. Thank you for joining me here with the Mykell Mathieu Show. See you then.
Keep it a whole 100. Don't got you, I got nothing. I got something. Hold up. We gon' function. No assumptions. Feeling like Tyson with it. Got out Tyson with it. Only for the night, I'm kidding. Only for life, yeah. Only for life, yeah. Only for life. Let's get it.